Hi my dear, and welcome to this message. Trust that you find it when it is the time for you to find it, and that there's something in here that can help you trust yourself a bit more. Because ultimately, we all carry the answers within ourselves. We just gotta trust that we do and go searching for them. So let's do that and see what we're going to talk about today. You have quite a few cards come out. Let us talk about them just one by one and see what comes up, and trust that what comes up is there for a reason. You have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a communicator, someone who is very clear in how they communicate and very sharp sometimes, potentially, because they're just trying to cut away all the bullshit from, the floskels of life to trying to get to the root of things. And that can be perceived as rude sometimes as well. If you don't do all of the extra enhancing, Okay, you also have here the King of Pentacles. So you have people show up. Let's see what all these people are. The King of Pentacles is someone who is mastered the material realm. So if the Knight of Swords is still on a journey towards reaching the mastery of the mind, already very attuned with it and very, very capable of doing so, but not a master yet, right? There's still a bit more growth that needs to happen, a few more years of experience. Here, this person has already had all of that, but in regards to the material, so in regards to the things that you can see. The material world is what we mostly perceive in our day-to-day. So this is someone maybe who already has a home, who's already established himself. This could be an older person in your life, or this can be you as well. You also have the Magician. Let me actually look at all of them. I'm feeling called to just put them all down and show you. We have the Magician, another person, and we've got 3 males here. 3 male characters in your life might be significant for some of you. You also have the 9 of Vessels. This is the 9 of Cups, the card of getting your emotional fulfillment. Here you have the Temperance card, finding balance between the cups, right? So if the emotional fulfillment is filling your cups, how do you balance that? How do you make it so the cups don't overfill, or some cups aren't empty, but it is equal in all the ways it needs to be? You have the 4 of Swords, the card of taking a break, being in the eye of the storm, finding the stability in the necessity for taking a break. So you can go out there and continue to do what you're doing, which then leads here to the 3 of Vessels, the card of celebrating and being among people you truly feel comfortable with and seen by. These can be your friends, it often is, where you're just having fun, And you have the Sun. Yes, the fun come out as well. The Sun is the embodiment of the inner kid, but the inner kid that is not corrupted yet by pain and trauma and loss and rejection and all this, but is just super joyous and just having so much fun. This is like if you can hear a kid's laugh in your head, like a little child or a little baby when they're so happy and they're laughing, that pureness and their joy is what the Sun represents. And I love that this is coming out, my dear. Okay, so let's see. You have a clear spread as I put all of these down. The 3 males that we were talking about, we had the Knight of Swords in the beginning, the King of Pentacles, and here you have the Magician, which kind of to me looks like a representation somewhat resembling what we see as Jesus. And Jesus is the idea of unconditional love, understanding that there's this unconditional love that we can return to. Whether you are Christian or not, it's just what the message of the person was, or whatever how you want to call it. But the message of Jesus is that of loving your neighbor, right? Love the people around you because they are you, ultimately. And the Magician is the Magician because he understands the way things work, and he's therefore able to create. It is seen as magic for those outside who aren't privy to the invisible forces, But the Magician is, and the Magician uses that to his advantage. I really think with all of this male cards coming out, there is an emphasis on the masculine. And I'm not the kind of person who will tell you that there is definitives in anything. I see life as a thing of dualities in which there is a spectrum that we are able to perceive. I wouldn't say this is the ultimate truth to anything. But in this spectrum, the male energy, this idea of the male, the opposing side to the female, is in esoteric realms associated to action, to initiation, to just taking up space. I heard that very specifically, taking up space. That is such a good way of putting it. Whether you are male or not, maybe this is the call for you in the message, is you learning to take up space. That is so important, especially in a world in which the male is dominant, in which the male is seen as this thing to praise and to push, and this is how you go through in the world. So the female, learning to, okay, oh, you need some space, no worries, let me give you space, right? And then stepping away. So having this empathetic approach to life that gives space to others to develop how they need to. We need that more in our lives, my dear, and in this world. Instead of people going like, I want to do this, let's try and see what other people want to do. Let's try and get a more wholesome understanding of the world. So again, the wholesomeness, the duality of allowing space for both. But I'm getting here with your reading, there is an emphasis on getting into the male energy, on standing in the confidence and the power, in the stupidity. But it's stupidity. What do I mean by that? I heard the word in my head. It came up, but it's the lack of thinking things through sometimes, because the reward that you are hoping for, your nervous system is hoping for, is more important than actually thinking things through. So the negative consequence becomes less important in this kind of approach. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. Right. So it makes sense. We're talking about this. You're trying to get into the male. I also want to emphasize that I learned this from a very talented osteopath who mentioned to me that on the right side of the body is where the male energy apparently is stored, and the left side of the body is where the female energy is stored. I don't know, bro, but I'm just telling you. And you can find, and I know this from experience, and also from the experiences of the people in my life that I've spoken to. But the male, that when there is a blockage sometimes in the male energy, that you find more pain points in the body within the right side of your body. So maybe you watch out for that. The 9 of Vessels, my dear. You are working on the emotional fulfillment, right? On getting the balance in your life. We're talking about this. Maybe you're finding a balance of where to pour and where to rest. You had the rest card come up. And where to celebrate, where to be joyous. Finding maybe the balancing within all of these versions of yourself. The inner kid who just wants to have fun with their friends and feel like they belong, they are connected, they are loved, they are cared for. The version that's maybe done with socializing and says, I need a break, my dudes. This is all fun and games, but like, I need to go chill for a bit, right? And in that, finding also the space to continue to work on fulfilling your heart space and really getting to a place where you feel fulfilled with your life and your decisions that you make in your life and how you spend your life. I'm getting that. Okay, so how can the collective, what can they do to kind of help them in this initiative, right? The male-centric energy here, in their initiative towards finding this balance with all. My dear, is it time for you to create? Are you feeling called? Is there something in you that is saying, I need to come out? I really can't deal with this. This needs to come out. And the cards are flowing away. The wind is blowing them away. That's the word. Because there is maybe the pull for it. You're feeling this call. So please do. If you're not at a place in time where you feel like you can share, or you want to share it with people, then don't. Do it for you. That's what art is. You are creating for yourself. When you share it with people, it is you sharing yourself And then when people recognize themselves and you and your art, that is true. I think it's an unbelievable connection. And I think for any artist out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's unbelievable. The fact that you guys are listening to me read you cards or listening to my music, listening to all of the stuff that I make up here, whatever it is, I'm so grateful. And it means so much just to know that you feel seen. And maybe you need to make yourself feel seen by creating your own art, doing something for yourself, exploring your emotions, maybe getting into, if there is this emphasis on the male here, maybe you need to go into the female more in regards to allowing things to flow, allowing things to go where they have to, making the space for yourself to maybe take up the space. Look at that. Yes, absolutely, dear. Nourish your temple. Understand that your body is your vessel to engage with the world. It is your vessel to create in this lifetime. So be conscious of it, take care of it, for you still have a lot to do and a lot to create and a lot to bring into the world. I'm just feeling like taking a little break and taking a breath. Maybe you guys want to as well. Maybe that's the call here as well, with the Four of Swords having come out. My dear, with the other card that came out from this deck is the watch a movie. There you go. Watch a movie, and you have a little kitty there, and there you have my meesters. Hi, Conan. That's Conan the Barbarian, for anyone who does not know. He will get your ankles if he's overwhelmed, which can happen quickly. You know what they say, how you say it? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Okay, watch a movie with your furry friend is what I'm getting to. Watch a movie in a cozy environment, whatever that is. Whether you have a pet, you don't have a pet. Whether you like to watch movies or you don't, but find something that gives you comfort, that allows for you to relax, maybe out of the overemphasis on the male potentially. Okay, yes. All right, so what's the last message for the day? For the collective, what are we going to leave them with? And I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you want to like or subscribe. It helps me loads. I want to continue to be able to create for you guys, and I can only do that with your guys' engagement. And I truly hope that this was helpful to you, because that's what I'm here for, my dear. Keep on blooming. Nah, you are not stagnant. The transformation is just happening within. And you also have, invest your energy into your highest self. The more you invest, the more you will become. Beautiful. Are we gonna get you one more? I think so. I like threes. And actually, talking of, I forgot to mention, if you are watching this as it comes out, dear, we just had the 333 lunar eclipse in Virgo. What does that mean? It means that we had a lunar eclipse. The Earth is right between the Sun and the Moon. So the Moon, if you were in spots in the world where you could see it, the Moon might have looked red to you around 3:33 in the morning, or around 3 in the morning, as that's the shadow of the Earth. And with it being in the sign of Virgo, this speaks on routines, on getting into a place in the material world that is structured, that makes sense, that is comforting, you know. And it's also the end of the eclipses, I think, until August. So what does that mean? A lot of astrological talk here. It means that the turmoil that has been happening so far, we do have other stuff coming up, but it looks like things have settled to a point of people know now what to do. Does that make sense? I think it's almost like the page, when I'm seeing my mind's eye, is like the page of the book has been turned, whatever that means. Okay. And the last message here, it might be time to mess around in the portal of transformation and see what's unveiled. So what is unveiled to you right now? If you're watching this as it comes out specifically, but even if you're not, what is coming up for you right now? What is asking for you to address it, to look at it, to go through it, right? So you can come out on the other side having grown, having accepted this balance within yourself. And if you are creating art and you want to share it, please do. Please do, and let me see it as well. I would love to. Thank you guys so much. If you're ever interested in a personal reading, you can find that in the description, as much as the membership, so you can help me continue to create this stuff. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye-bye.